Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and hopefully everybody had a great Cinco de Mayo. If you are feeling a little bit under the weather, got a little hack for you. Just get two Tylenols and get your hands on a red Gatorade, and you should be okay. Uh, but we are not even 2 days away, guys, from flying out. Um, Me and Dad are really excited. Like I said, we've been anticipating this trip for a long time, and it's finally here. So we cannot wait to get up into the woods and start doing what we want to do and show the knowledge that we know to you guys. So if you have read the thumbnail, you have seen it where it says giving credit where credit is due. And on today's topic, that's exactly what we're going to be doing, is giving credit where credit is due. So sit back, relax, and welcome to another episode of Michigan Boneheads Outdoors. So I feel as the first person that should be giving credit where credit is due is the person that got you or us involved into the hunting world. For me, it is my father. My father got me into hunting. For him, it was his Uncle Donald that got him into hunting. It could be possibly for you, it could be your dad or your mom or your grandma, your grandpa, your uncles, whoever it may be. Um, I feel like that should be the person that first and foremost we should be giving credit to. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have this wonderful hunting world that we probably have now. So first and foremost, I feel like that's where we should be giving the credit. Um, for me personally, where I kind of give credit where credit is due is a lot of YouTube channels that I have watched and a lot of people that I have had the pleasure of meeting. And we were able to talk about hunting, and they have different variations on how they do this and do that. I mean, I just soaked it up like a sponge. And with the knowledge that I got from them people and the knowledge that I've learned from different YouTube channels, uh, overall as a hunter, not even just bow hunting, but rifle hunting as well, it made me it made me a better hunter. And I feel like that's I think that's I think the prize that we're all trying to get to is that, yeah, you got your first buck, which is maybe a spike horn or a 4 point or a six, you know, or now you want to start getting into leaving the 1.5s and 2.5 years old and start hunting 3.5s, or maybe you're over 3.5s and want to hunt 4.5s, so on and so forth. And it's just the knowledge that you acquire throughout the years is is actually pretty cool. To you see yourself develop, and I think that is so cool to kind of sit back in the tree. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about this. Is you just when you're in the tree, you just you think about life. You think about topics that you really don't really think about on the everyday, and to kind of go down memory lane, so to say, and go back to where you started to where you're at now. It's just is you'd be like, man, dude, that is just an amazing jump of what I did and what I accomplished. And if it's just it's awesome, and I love that, you know. And I'm trying to be as transparent with you guys as I possibly can, because I catch myself doing that also too in the trees. And it's just to me, it's just it is seriously a blessing. Hunting to me is a blessing. I seriously would not know what I would do if my father didn't introduce me to hunting. I don't know what path I probably would have went down. And it's pretty crazy to think about, you know. Maybe you thought of the same thing that I'm thinking. What would my life would have been if I did not pick up a bow or a rifle? How was my life going to be if my grandpa or my dad or, like I said, my uncle or my aunt or whatever didn't take me hunting? Where would it go? You know, and God works in mysterious ways. I really do believe that, and he put me on the path of hunting. He put me he showed my father how to hunt, which then in turn showed me how to hunt, and that I'm forever grateful. So we are, like I said, we're giving credit where credit is due here. So the second place where I feel like giving credit where credit is due is YouTube. There is 4 channels for me that have helped me develop as an overall hunter, not just bow hunting, not just rifle hunting, but a hunter in general. Okay, and that is the Hunting Beast, Eberhard Outdoors, the Hunting Public, and the Southern Outdoorsman. Okay, those 4 channels, guys, are an absolute cheat code. They will, those 4 channels is nothing but knowledge. I don't know how many years that you can acquire and put together for deer hunting. You know, it's it's just to me it's just mind-boggling. Okay, if you have never heard of those channels and you love to deer hunt and you love to bow hunt and rifle hunt, I would highly suggest you go check them out. Okay, they are they helped me develop, like I said, as a hunter in general, um, to how to read sign, how to interpret sign, what to look for, different land features, what products work with what. Um, I mean, the list goes on and on. It's just those are my go-to. I will spend countless hours just watching videos, taking notes. Like I'm in college, okay? And you know how college was, you know, carpal tunnel in the wrist because how much notes and stuff you took, okay? I got my little book here that I have, guys. I mean, just knowledge upon knowledge of this stuff that I do. And like I said, giving credit where credit is due. It is those 4 channels has helped me tremendously, um, especially in public land. Okay, um, no matter where you're at, no matter if you're, if you're in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, New York, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, you know, Iowa, Kansas. It doesn't matter where you're at. Okay, the knowledge that those 4 channels has I know will help you as a hunter. Okay, and it's I've seen it with my own eyes. Because there for a while, guys, like I would go into the woods and I would kind of get discouraged, because I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not seeing deer? I'm thinking the spots that I picked out are bomb spots, but now the knowledge that I know is those spots didn't work because of this. You came in the wrong way, so these deer knew you were coming in. You accidentally walked through a bedding area, which I had no idea about. It's, I mean, just it is just kind of hard to comprehend on how much information that you get from those 4 channels. And like I said, if you are not subscribed to those 4 channels, I really suggest those ones, and sit down and just start watching videos. Like with me, take notes. Maybe you're into hill country hunting more than you're into swamps. Me, I'm kind of a swamped guy, you know. Or you're trying to figure out or trying to read different transition lines, or how to read maps. Maybe you don't know how to read topo maps or what to look for, aerials. What are you trying to look, different land features that stick out. Those 4 channels, like I said, like I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, but they will help you. And that's where I feel like I'm giving credit where credit is due. You know, it's just the walking books of knowledge on every single person in those channels. Okay, that is where I feel like, if it wasn't for these channels, and if it wasn't for me, you know, trying to find kind of like a path to go down, so to say. Like I said, I went through many years of like not even seeing a deer, let alone a buck. you know, this stuff right here, especially for public land, will help you. Okay, I'm telling you. Last and certainly not least, I feel like where you should be giving credit where credit is due is yourself. Give credit to yourself on wanting to learn. There's probably old habits. There's an old saying, old habits die hard. But sometimes you're going to have to kick some of those old habits to get to where you want to get into in hunting. Those habits worked for, forever reason, or for how many years. But like I said, we're trying to develop here. Okay. Some of those habits need to kind of die off, and you need to start picking up new habits. And like I said, you need to give yourself credit to do that. Okay. An old dog can learn new tricks. Okay. And it's like I said, it just starts with being like, okay, I want to get to a certain caliber of deer. How can I do that? Be open to different ways and ideas to get that done. And that's what I have done too. I was kind of tired of just seeing spikes and 4 points. My first buck that I shot was a 6. He was a little tiny basket rat 6. I seen spike horns. I seen little forkies. I seen a nice little 6 one time before. But I'm in the stage of kind of my hunting career, so to say, that I want bigger deer, and I feel like I deserve bigger deer. I've been hunting since I've been 14. I want big deer. We all want big deer. And in order to get the big deer, I'm just going to be flat out honest with you. What you're doing and you're seeing small deer is not going to work for the big deer. you know Put yourself into the nastiness, okay, the thickness. Everybody knows that these deer don't get to the size they are for being dumb. Okay, give yourself credit. Try to learn new tactics on how to get it done. All right, you know go into the woods, start getting familiar with your spots, how to come in a certain way without them knowing that you're there. you know there is some spots where I'm pretty sure that you can attest to this too, that is pretty intimidating in the dark. you know but be confident within yourself to be able to know, like, I know I got to go through a half mile, quarter mile or half mile through just absolute trash to get into a spot. But once you do that, you're leaving 98% of the competition behind you. A lot of people don't cross water. It's like like mosquito spray, to a mosquito. They just they just don't want to do it. Cross the water, get into the thick stuff, learn new habits, okay? And that's going to make you a better hunter. That's going to get you the stuff that you want to be putting on the wall. You know what I mean? And you got to give yourself credit. You really, really do. You're gonna it's like what anything else in life. If you want it, you gotta have to earn it. But I know if you want it, you're gonna learn it. You know what I mean? Like with me, I give myself credit. You've seen the little notebook that I have, the countless hours of videos that I've watched, the miles upon miles of scouting, you know, shedding so much boot leather on the ground, you know, learning how to interpret sign, learning how to read sign, learning how to, kind of figure out where they're coming from, where they're gonna go. Um, Countless hours, seriously, guys, just staring at a computer screen of an aerial map and trying to decipher, different spots, or like if I go here, maybe he's going to come through here. I have one in particular, um, that I am chasing. His name is Bono. Um, and for public land, he's a pig. Okay. Um, Maybe I can show a couple pictures for you right now. Yeah, I know he's pretty good. he'll, he'll do it, right, guys? But no, man. It's just like I said. I'm kind of rolling in circles here, but just give yourself the credit. You know, give yourself an opportunity to grow and just start seeing bigger deer. And just put the work in. You know, I feel if the amount of work that you put in is what you're probably going to get out of it. So what we're going to be doing on this channel in particular is, like I said, with all the 4 channels that have helped me as grow as a better hunter overall, I'm going to be taking you along with me on this trip. I'm going to be showing you how to do everything, how I decipher spots, how I set up spots, what am I looking for in sign, how to interpret sign, how to set up, just overall what I do and how do I set up, um, for the kill. And that's what we're going to be doing on this trip. Putting up cameras, looking at last year's sign, finding out different ways where he came from, where he's going. I have, like I said, I do have a very, very, very good idea where he's going. I'm pretty confident. So this upcoming season is going to be pretty interesting. And I cannot wait to show it with you guys. So, you know, it's just, I kind of like growing with you guys. You guys have been showing a lot of love through the channel, also on Facebook. And there again, I want to thank y'all so very much. But I want you guys to come along with the ride. I want to share this with you. So if you're not, please subscribe to the channel. And just remember, keep bringing traditions back home, guys. And hopefully look out for the next video. All right, guys. Bye.